Morning viewers, welcome to another edition of AM Chat. My name is Tomisin, and it's a beautiful morning. If you step out there, peradventure you're still on your way to work, or you're still at home, or you're watching us from your office, I'm sure that you enjoyed the weather. We seem to have a little bit of respite from the rains. The rain seems to have abated for quite a while now. For 2 days at least, we haven't experienced any form of rain. If in your area you have, especially if you're outside Lagos, congratulations. The rain, as I always say, is a blessing. We're just more concerned about the issues of flooding all over the world. We sympathize with the people in Indonesia who have been going through, diverse natural disasters, the tsunami, they had the flooding, they had the hurricane, and then now they have this volcano ashfall that seems to be ravaging them right there. We sympathize with them, and we pray that they get this respite as quickly as possible, and that the many people down there who are waiting for some form of relief or the other, whether for food, for fuel, for water, for even drinking water. So drinking water can really be a problem in some areas of the world, some parts of the world. We should be thankful for small blessings that we enjoy in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, where we have a lot of things at our disposal. We have the weather is good most of the time. Yeah, the weather is good. We don't have the hailstorms. We may love the snow so much, but we still don't have it. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have so many of these natural disasters. So I must say that Nigeria is a blessed country. In Nigeria, we are blessed people. We must begin to see our land and our environment as being the blessed nation that we are. So many things are happening all over the world. We have all the way in the US, the drama about the nominee of President Donald Trump into the Supreme Court. There seems to be a lot of drama going on there. Just yesterday, Donald Trump was mocking the woman, Professor Blasey Ford, who came forward with the rape allegation when she was a teenager. It brings to mind the question: if you were raped 50 years ago and the person seems to be vying for political office or for public office, what would you do? Keep quiet, let it go, or bring the story out to discredit the candidate, or possibly to just say, you know what, you are not perfect, or you're not as perfect as you claim. But we don't know what the truth in that story is. The story making the rounds is that Brett Kavanaugh raped Blasey Ford, but there seemed to be a lot of drama going on there. Donald Trump was saying something like, you can't remember, when was the year, how many years ago was it? Practically making a mockery of the entire incident, despite the fact that just a couple of days ago he said Professor Blasey Ford is a very credible witness. So we don't know what is going on down there. So that's what's going on in the US. And interestingly, just at our corner here, just behind us, right, just our neighboring country, Melania Trump, that's the wife of the president, is right there, during this world tour. So a lot of things seems to be happening. And on the economic scene, we have the OPEC prices. So we're talking about the price of crude. There seems to be some measure of increase, tiny little bit of increase there, about 35 cents, which people are celebrating, because it means that more money is going to come in, at least from our crude oil this year. We seem not to have that problem of the crude price falling. It's gradually rising, but that doesn't mean that the people who are investing in agriculture and other parts of the economy, manufacturing sector, for example, should relent. Everybody should do something. So as I said earlier, lots of things are happening right here in Nigeria. We have the primary season seems to be in full swing. The primaries of all the parties seems to be in full swing. Some have completed theirs, some are still working on theirs. The economic scene, we have so many things happening from the different organizations, from the government. We have all of this, so many things. The South Sudan president was right here in Nigeria just about 2 days ago to talk to the president, and we promised them economic, some measure of security, intervention, which for me, I would ask my analyst this morning to tell me how we intend to offer what we don't. Let me not say we don't have, we have. we've been offering it in the past. So, but it's one of the things we've been talking about. So there are lots of things happening all over the world, and especially in Nigeria. And I'm sure that you're looking forward to this edition this morning. We're going to go straight into the papers from this edition, and we're going to look at some of the messages from last week. Thank you so much to everyone who sent us the review from Osun State as the election was going on. We had live review, and it was interesting that so many people sent those messages. Like I usually say, when you're sending us your comments about any incident, try to send us a video or a picture to give us an idea of exactly what is happening where you are. And if there are incidents you would like to report, you can also send them to us on Twitter, on Facebook. I'll put up the WhatsApp number very soon. You can just send us these messages, and then we get to talk about it on our show. We get to bring it to the view of the public. Okay, so we're going straight into the papers section. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're still on AM Chart, and right now we're looking straight into the papers. I was starting this morning's review with the Punch, the front page of the Punch. With me in the studio this morning, I have two gentlemen. One person on my right is an architect. His certificate said he spent a lot of money and time to earn. Welcome to the stage, to the studio, Mr. Abiodun.
Good morning.
You're welcome to today's show. And on my left, I have my namesake and my Mr. Tope Bukola-Ojo is right here with us in the studio. Mr. Tope Bukola-Ojo is a growth strategist and an entrepreneur. You're welcome to today's show.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay, so right here we're looking first into the first page, the front page of the Punch, and we're looking at the center spread. Ambode accepted defeat to avert impeachment. That's from sources. Governor congratulates Sanwo-Olu, pledges commitment to Lagos development. Okay, we have a picture there. If you're wondering what that is, that's about the flooded residents in Amarata, here in Ogoa, Bayoso State. As the world celebrates Habitat Day on Wednesday. Yesterday was the World Habitat Day, and looking at our environment. In some areas of Lagos, a couple of weeks ago, the people in Agility 1 and Agility 2 especially were going home with canoes and boats as against the normal bikes. So on the regular road, which their cars used to, ply, or their bikes used to ply, or their keke napep used to ply, they were actually going home with canoe. There was a canoe park right there where they had keke park. It was replaced with a canoe park. And that's a serious habitat problem. That's a serious flooding problem in Lagos, which happens there every year. I don't know why we're not doing anything about it.
Well, I think that it's a systemic failure of government. I know that over the years, when the rains are coming, there are certain steps and measures that the government puts in place to ensure that you avert this kind of issues when it comes to rain.
Exactly.
Now, the question we need to ask is that were these things done this time around, to ensure that
these things do not happen.
These things do not happen. So it falls squarely at the doorstep of the government. And if you look at some other issues they have had in the past, i.e. the problem with clearing of refuse, sometimes they say that from what we know, we can judge the one we don't know.
Exactly.
So I think that perhaps in terms of the Commissioner for Environment, perhaps he hasn't been up and doing in his activities.
Especially monitoring what is happening in Lagos.
Yes, because
it's quite funny. When somebody came to visit and the person said, I have to go home early because the boats will close. The boat park will close. I was like surprised because I've been there. And I was like, the boat park will close? She said, yes. Now they will close once it's too dark because they won't be able to apply. There are no lights, especially in that environment, and then they won't be able to go home again. And I said, okay, but you can't walk. She said, walk. She said, the water is going to get to our chest level. It's not possible to walk, which means children who are very short, secondary school children, wouldn't be able to go to school without boats.
By the time the water passes your ankle, then it's major.
It's no
more. A swimming pool is about 1.5 high, 1.4. So when it's getting to your chest
level, and she's of my height. She's about 5'7". I'm saying it's a chest level.
I know certain environmental groups have raised a lot of concern with regards to the constant sand filling going on in certain areas of Lagos, and what the effect would be. But these are not things that we can just speak. You have to do some sort of a study to know that is it because of that, or is it that they didn't clear the roads?
No, actually, I had the commission. I had the special advisor to the governor on Cleaner Lagos initiative on my show a couple of weeks ago. I think about 3 weeks now, and he was talking. He actually mentioned some of the land claim that we're doing everywhere, and he said it does something to the environment, that in the long run what it does is the water would always find a way to go somewhere else. He says, so you must create a channel for the water to actually freely pass through into the ocean. But even if the ocean itself is being cleaned, then what happens? The water is going to find a way.
I think we need to also consider the fact that the issue of global warming is real. So, and no matter how bad we have it this year, if you don't do anything, you're going to have it worse by next year.
Definitely.
So it requires a lot of planning. You understand? It requires a lot of planning. Whatever we are doing, we should have an idea of how it's going to contribute to whatever kind of disaster it's going to bring, and how we can mitigate it from the planning level. You understand? So a lot of things goes into this. You understand? And we really need to work immediately, because it's not limited to Lagos State. Look at what happened.
This is by yourself. This is somebody's backyard.
What happened in Kogi State?
This was all my neighbors.
Even Kogi State.
We can't continue to be having this. You understand? We have not placed enough value on human lives, so we don't really give a damn about it, and that is very, very bad, very, very wrong. People are losing resources, losing lives, losing their loved ones to this kind of
issue
thing.
of environmental issues.
We have to know, we have to accept that global warming is real, and it's going to get worse, and we need to plan and see how we can.
Interestingly, the federal government seems to be doing some level of partnerships and all that. The German embassy had this event a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. It was there, and they had this discussion on global warming and environmental, intervention that could be done. They prescribed. The funny part, as much as the government has signed an agreement with UN to say they're going to do all of these things, Nigeria ranked the 10th on the list of most critically challenging in the world as far as environment is concerned. We're not critical. We still have about some measure of about 5% to get to critical, but I think also was measured by 2% is critical. We're 1.5, so that's it. And it's funny that even Lagos actually ranked 10th, 10th city in the whole world.
But funny enough, the rating of Lagos was far better during the time of Fashola. You understand? Yeah, I mean, it even earned them a seat at the UN organization, because they had taken a lot of giant strides towards ensuring that Lagos
Mm.
was they were one of the pioneers of pushing for the effects of global warming. I think that this thing is a two-pronged approach. You have the preventive measure, which means that way before the thing occurs, then we put steps in place to ensure that, okay, this is likely to occur. What are the steps are we going to put in place to ensure that even if it does occur, the effect is minimal?
It's minimal.
Then
you can contain it.
Yeah. Then you have the second approach, which is when it has to actually occurs. What's the response? Just and then is there a possibility of government being able to raise an alarm beforehand for people to know that this is going to happen? I know that, I mean, in other advanced countries, you have warnings. You have hurricane warnings, you have all these kind of warnings that tell people that this is going to happen, we're expecting this, and we have to move away from it. I just think that, I mean, you know, whichever way you look at it, the buck stops at the table of the government. Yeah. And I think that until we begin to have governments who have attention to detail, you know, and take the welfare of the citizens as priority, then things will change. Because look, all the technology you need, everything you need is already available now. It's available now. And we have experts. We have people in universities, professors, all these people that, I mean, they don't engage them. You know, we need to begin to engage those we have. Our universities, our colleges of education, everything should start working for the people. You know, we need to integrate them into society,
into the system.
Yeah. So once we do that, I'm sure that things will get a little better. You know.
I have this question I'd like to ask, but since it's related to our discussion, I'll just pen it down and then we'll go there. We'll go there later.
Yeah.
But still talking about that's not to exonerate the position of the citizens or their responsibility in making this environment a better one. But moving on, we have Ajimobi wins or your South Senatorial District ticket. We have father rapes impregnate 13-year-old daughter in Edo State. Wow, that's disgusting. Oshopol parties allege compromised by INEC are refund if found culpable. That's the wreck. Toddler, 4 others killed in Undo crash. Quite an unfortunate one there. Man allegedly conspires with friends to rob his wife. Policeman kills undergraduate, injures another at Imo APC Primary. Buhari calls Leah Sharibu's mother, promises her daughter's safe return. A lot of religious leaders seem to be calling for the return of this Dapchi girl, Leah Sharibu.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that she was left behind. We don't know why.
The first general overseer
psychologically
last week, 2 weeks ago, the general superintendent of the Cherubim and Seraphim Church called for it. Called for it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So every church, First Square General Overseer was quite descriptive, you know, in his call, wanted the Chibok girls and wanted something to be done before, you know, people are killed again, like
I'm happy that the churches are actually saying something about it.
Being vocal,
being vocal about it, you know. But this is the role that we expect them to play in some of this when some of these issues arise. Yes, she's been left behind. I mean, it was almost as if people are going to forget her. I know that Obi Ekwezilezi and her group had been very emphatic in ensuring that we can't leave this girl behind. You know, but also having said that, what are we ensuring that this cannot happen again? That we cannot have this kind of situation? That even if we get lead, they will go back to another school. So there's so many issues about it. So it's a good thing that the churches are now coming out and
to talk about.
Yes,
yes. I think, irrespective of your religious affiliation, you know, it's an act of terrorism, kidnapping someone, and we shouldn't also forget that it's not only Leah Sharibu that is there. We still have about 100 girls.
12 Chibok girls.
Yes, they are still there. So I think Leah Sharibu's case was so peculiar because it has a lot of ties to our religion. Because she said she cannot denounce Christianity. And I think maybe that's why every church leader is calling for it. But the truth is, the problem we have is insecurity. People are being kidnapped every day, right, by Boko Haram. What are we able to do?
To curb it. Okay, before we go to the next newspaper, we're going to take this very short break. When we come back, we're moving straight to the front page of The Nation. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still AM Chat. So we're moving on to the next newspaper. We have The Nation. On the front page of The Nation, banks doing well, says report. 4 banks get a 5-star rating. That's on page 45 of The Nation. I have an entrepreneur in the house, so I'd like him to talk about that. Nigerian banks, are they really doing well?
Well, it's good we are hearing this kind of news at this time, because we know how banks were badly hit in the last 2 years, and we hope it's not a fluke, because we know how it runs there. Banks are doing well, but the charges have increased. My charges have increased.
Definitely.
You know? So yeah, but it's a good one, because it also gives foreign investors a sense of a kind of confidence in the system, and I think it's a good one.
Okay. EFCC arraigned Saraki's aid for 3.5 billion fraud. That's not a big deal. If that's coming, that's not a big deal, because even the president, the first lady's aide was also arrested and arrested for 2.5. You know. Okay. Central Price says, "I won't take mandate for granted," says Awolu. Yes, says Awolu. Ambode concede defeat as panel announces results. That's from Lagos, and we have all the primaries. We're going to talk about the primaries when we start talking about topics, so I don't want to spend so much time going there. But experts set to discuss Eda's farmers clash, and that's organized by The Nation and TVC together, organizing that joint resolution. There's a summit on the conflict resolution between the herders and the farmers. We seem not to be hearing a lot about them right now, but let's not take it for granted and say that it's not happening. It's still out there. Okay, oil price inches near 90.